Alright, we're back doing the traditional courtyard house or the little tea house. Previously, we've made a little kitchen. We've done a lot. Then we made a living room. And then we made the bedroom, along with a little ensuite bathroom. And then we made the little dining room. Next, we're going outdoors, and we'll be doing the outdoor pavilion. The traditional courtyard house. We're getting so close. We're getting all the little tiny parts and pieces, and this time we're going to start with a little table. We've already done these little sushi cookies, and I just used what was extra from the previous build. We have tons of them, and I don't know what I'm going to do with all the extras, but I'll figure something out. And I also pre-made 2 pillows. If you want to see how those are made step by step, see the previous 2 videos and I'll show you how I sewed them up. First thing you're going to do is make the little table legs. Kind of have a 3-legged table here, and you're going to make a giant staple shape and then bend it into an angle at the middle and on the top. It'll make sense at the end. And then you're going to do the 3rd leg, just the half of what you made the first time around. And we're just going to cut out the tabletop so that it looks like it's marble. It's a piece of paper. You just do the right G14 and matches the right piece. And this time I remembered to do the side piece too. So it is a gold piece of, I don't know what it would be. A gold piece of paper basically on the sides. Here's that gold paper, and you just cut a long strip, glue it around the edges, and then trim it later on. We're going to make another little serving tray, just like the last time. It's a little picture frame tiny piece, and you glue the bottom to that and squish it together. Another easy one, it's just a pretty marbly looking bead, and then you stick the circle of paper on the top, and it's a stone bench. we're going to glue the legs on. The only tricky part is, well, you got to hold it down until it dries and then straighten out the legs and make sure they fit in the middle too. So it was a little tweaking, but for the most part, it doesn't have to be 100% perfect. It does lay flat eventually. And then we're going to put the little Swiss rolls, sushi rolls, and cookies in the tray, because you have to have some little treats while you're sitting outside in this pretty pavilion. And we're going to make a hanging light. This one's a little bit different than the last one we made. It's got a black band that goes around the top of the globe. You just cut those out. And then you're going to glue the light in just as usual. And then you're going to do the little extra wire for stability. And the fun table setting part, just glue all the parts and pieces on top. Alright, you thought the last one had a lot of pieces. Oh my goodness. This pavilion is a little more intricate than the last one, but it turns out really pretty. I really liked it. But you're just basically going to do the floor, same as you always do. Just cut it out where the lines are and then glue it to the bottom. This pavilion has little benches, so what I'm doing here is I'm going to glue the little feet to the bottom so it stands up. You really need to pay attention to which direction the little notches and things go, because I can imagine, I got lucky, I did it well, but I can imagine if I did it upside down and then have to take it all apart, it would have been frustrating. And then just glue the backs to it. I always do it kind of at this angle because it kind of makes it so that it'll go straight up and down. There are lines on this flooring, so it kind of gives you a hint of where things go. So as long as you pay attention to that and read your directions, everything should be facing the right way and fit together properly. Now I learned from the last build, I did these cross beams first and I did it upside down, which is absolutely what I should have done the last time. That way it dries nice and straight and doesn't fall out of the air every time I'm trying to glue it. So just glue them and then let it dry, and then your life will be so much easier. And then you're going to put the end pieces, the trusses, I suppose you would call them. And this is where you're going to find out that if you did everything nice and straight and proper. We're going to put the roof on, and I did have to stare at the instructions because it does stick forward a little bit, you'll see there. And just make sure you do it at the right end because, like I said before, all these pieces go together to make one big house. So if you do it all wonky and wrong, it's not going to fit in the end. All right, now we're gonna make the little wisteria bush. I'm not sure what kind of bush it would be. It's kind of like a cherry tree blossom. It's very pretty. I enjoyed this process a lot. It's just wire, and then they gave you a whole bunch of these little teeny flowers. It's a little daunting at first. You're thinking, oh my goodness, I have to glue each and every one of these. But just trug along and keep going. It's actually very therapeutic to do. And you're going to use some leaves on this plastic plant thing. So just cut a bunch off. It doesn't specify how many to do, so I just did as many as I felt would fit on there. And you're going to glue them on later on. And then you're going to cut, it says 5 strands of this skinny wire. I added a few more because I just didn't feel like it was as beefy as it should be. So I added probably about 3 or 4 more wires to make the bush a little more bushy. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to twist up the bottom to make the trunk, and all the topsy-turvy branches, you just kind of willy-nilly curl them. I curled them around my finger like you're doing finger curls on your hair, and didn't do it 100% how you wanted it in the end because I still have to stick it on the building, and you're going to adjust it a few more times over there. And then you're going to paint the whole thing brown. This is a little tedious. These little skinny wires aren't the easiest thing to paint, but just keep turning, and the more silver you see, the more you paint, and you just keep going and going. And while that dries, we're going to stick on the hanging light. Again, follow the diagram, which direction it goes, and you're going to glue that right smack in the middle of the building, and then glue the wire all the way down the beams there. And just with this super glue that I have, it's really slow drying, which is fine. So I'll glue it, wait, then glue it, wait, and then just do each and every section. now we're gonna start putting the bush in there, and you'll see what I mean. It's like I didn't do the wires exactly curly because it would have been too hard to stick it on here. So I just kind of did a general curl and then put it at where it looks nice. And it does tell you where to put the trunk, so it gives you a good starting point, and then you just kind of weave it in and out of the rafters. Next, we're going to stick all these little leaves that we cut out, and it's just random, just wherever you feel like it'll look good, and just stick them all over the place. Maybe an alternate to bubble wrap is punching out flowers. Just go, 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 go. It was kind of fun. Next, we're going to put this pink fuzzy moss on. So you're going to do, again, just random glue everywhere, and then sprinkle the pink moss on there, and then tap off the excess, and then we'll go on to the next step. Starting to take shape. And next we're going to make the little flowers. I spilt some glue on the bottom there, so I just put some pink moss down there and make it look like it's just shedding bush. When you make these flowers, what you do is you put it in the middle of your finger and then just kind of push it with the tweezers there. It looks painful. It's not at all. You're not pushing that hard. But when you push it, all the little petals kind of curl up. So you're going to do that over and over and over and over again until you feel like you got enough flowers. And I did not use all the flowers they gave me, so I'll have some extras for another project, which I'll definitely use these little cute things. And oh my goodness, I was so proud of this. It just turned out so pretty. I loved it. And I ended up just going crazy with the flowers. You could keep going and adding and adding and adding forever and tweaking it. You just got to find a point where it's like, okay, I got to stop. And it turned out really, really nice. And now we're going to glue in the pillows. I was going to just set them there, but I decided to glue them because they're just going to slide all over the place anyway. And then you're going to glue in the table and the little stool. And ta-da! The cutest little outdoor pavilion ever. I would sit out there and drink some tea and eat some flower-shaped cookies. Absolutely. So we're getting it down to the nitty-gritty. We're leaking into the garden of the garden tea house. So next episode, I think we're going to do all the trees, and I believe there's a bridge and a little pond. So stay tuned for the next episode. It's going to be fun. Bye!